Okay, now that we've talked about the rapid healing cycle that happens between the masculine and the feminine when you're pairing two human beings together, now that we've talked about that, let's talk about what the healing process or the healing cycle, because it's really a cycle, that happens within the body as these two energies are orbiting together or as these two energies are holding space for each other's healing to take place. Okay, the first thing that happens in this process or this cycling is a triggering. That's the number one thing. You get triggered. No healing can take place until you know what needs to be healed. And you typically only know what needs to be healed when you get triggered. When something happens, when you are stimulated outside, when a stimulation outside of your body, whether it's um, somebody's voice, or maybe what they said to you, or maybe something that they did, whatever, you get this trigger, and this is when the healing process actually starts to begin. Now, I want you to take note that being triggered does not mean that you're being abused. Okay? Being triggered does not mean that someone is taking advantage of you. Being triggered only means that you are having an uncomfortable experience as a direct result of something that took place in your reality. For all intents and purposes, you could have a thought about someone in your reality, that person that you're with or that you're holding space with. You could have a thought about them that makes you uncomfortable. It triggers something in you that needs to be healed. Let's say you're with your person or a person. Well, let's say you're with your person. Let's make this more simple. And they are doing something on their phone, and then all of a sudden they put their phone down. But when they put their phone down, they put their phone face down on the table so that the screen can't be seen. Now, for people who have been in abusive situations where they were constantly cheated on, or their partner was, always hiding things from them, this could trigger a trust issue in them. This could trigger jealousy. This could trigger a lot of different toxic patterns that we have that need to be eliminated in order to heal. But typically, in a synchronistic or a harmonious or reciprocal energetic situation where both people are coming together and they are doing that feminine masculine dance and they're holding space for each other so that they can heal or whatever, more than likely the gesture of putting the phone down on face down, this action triggers that person, but there is no substantial evidence behind the thoughts that they were having, just because the action that their person performed is the same as the action that led to or was a part of the deceit that they experienced in the other relationships. But to the person who got triggered, it doesn't matter. What happens is the brain just automatically assigns the same meaning to the same actions that hurt them before, in order to prevent being hurt or experiencing more pain for the same reasons again in the future. Now, I want you to note something. This is typically when people will sabotage the space. This is typically when people will run. This is typically when people will shut down. And these are all actions that either you should have learned to work through in your singlehood. Remember, because during if you're holding space for somebody, you are supposed to at least have a few skill sets that you have learned while you were single in order to be equipped enough to handle and hold space for your partner as they are also healing too. So if when the triggering happens, you haven't learned to communicate how you feel, this is one of those tools you're just going to have to learn on the spot. You're going to have to learn in real time because you didn't take the time to learn how to communicate when you were not in a pair, when you were not in a relationship. So this is the first part of the process. This is the very, very first initial step that happens in the healing process between the masculine and the feminine energy. Now, there is a phase before this that takes place, because you don't always immediately get triggered right away. There's like a little honeymoon phase where everything it just feels so wonderful. It feels so good. So, but this is the first step in the healing process that takes place between both the masculine and feminine. So I just wanted to clarify that. Make sure you head over to www.GodstyleBilal.com to look around at the resources that I have put together for you in order to assist you with your energy healing needs. And stay tuned for the next part of this video. And until next time, love you.